Hey all, we are in the truck at Chicagoland. We simulated the dirt late model race at Jefferson Road Course. I don't know, to me it's just like devil's work to be running a dirt track, dirt car, some whatever, on a road course. I know, maybe not so popular an opinion, but I ain't gonna learn it on this game. I tried, and the disconnect that I have from running, a computer game translating to a road course is very difficult. Translating to dirt on a road course, which I struggle with a lot, just on the ovals, is we're not even gonna go there right now. There's so much other stuff to do, like working on this setup for Chicagoland. Now, I have a winning setup here in truck. I've run it before, but I'm trying to find more speed. And so far, we're doing okay. We were a little bit off, but still the fastest truck on the track for just about 25 laps. And we built up enough lead on the first stage, about 4.5 seconds, that, those last few laps or whatever, 5, 6, 7, 10 laps, no one could catch us, so we won the first stage. We hit a 30.9, that's all by ourselves, with no draft, no help. That 30.6 was in a league race here, and we were nose to tail, so that's why it's so much faster. One of the issues at Chicagoland, which is interesting, is I noticed the default tire pressures had the left sides at 19. I'm starting to realize that that's kind of like a cautionary thing, because this track, with my setups, I suffer with tremendous tire wear if I'm a little bit off. And trying to get faster, you just go 1 click, 2 clicks the wrong direction. Next thing you know, you get like 3 laps out of one of your front tires before they blow. Yeah, it's that radical. I built a cup setup for this track 2-3 years ago. It was fast. It was going to win the race. I dropped the green flag. I get out there, and mind you, I ran maybe 500 laps during the week, offline races, all kinds of stuff. We get in an online league race. I get out front. I'm smoking the field. I'm a half a lap ahead of everybody, and I think we had like 30 laps, whatever the wear was. We had like 30 laps in the tank. I get to about lap 13, and it starts to wiggle really, nastily off of 2 out of nowhere. I look down. I have almost no left front tire left. Yeah. This track, in practice, will take a lot of camber. But in the race, in an online race, forget about it. You're toast. So I kind of been struggling with that, and so I said, let's take a different approach. I took a look at tracks, right? Like certain tracks have things in common with other tracks. And so with a clean sheet of paper and mindset, I was like, well, let's approach this like I don't have a setup. I know what times I need to hit. I know what I was hitting. Last time we raced here online, I actually get the video up. Starting off, firing off speed, end speed, the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, let's see what we can do. So I applied what I learned, first off, on the, the last best setup that was in here, the winning setup, and it was junk. It was burning off the right front. I mean, like, badly. And then, next setup, I basically took that, I adjusted cambers, I adjusted a bunch of stuff, and I didn't get any better. I wasn't slower, it was all tire wear and maneuverability. All that went out the window. These guys are faster. It's the third stage. I'm not pulling away like I was. So basically it was right front. So I did all the normal things to work on the right front. Lowered the wedge, lowered the camber, added the tire stagger, the whole 9 yards. But what was nagging at me is that it seemed to beg for more left side tire, but I had the camber up as high as I can safely put it without burning the left front off. As you can see, it's a little bit, more wear. The fronts are wearing more than the rears. But it's driving well. And I've been adjusting with tire pressure and wedge. Basically took a whole round of wedge out of it. But what I ultimately decided to do is I compared tracks, and I'm like, this track's got 18 degrees in the banks. And I'm like, I know there's another track that I have a good setup for that has 18 degrees non-progressive banking, regular banking. Because I always struggle more on the progressive banking, and I noticed that Homestead is also 18 to 20 degrees, and it's considered 18 with progressive banking. It banks more as you go up higher. But for some reason, those are the toughest tracks to set up for. Kansas is the same way. Texas turn 1 and 2 is progressive. Any of the progressive bank tracks turns is just like a nightmare in this game. So here's a regular bank track, and Michigan is also an 18-degree regular bank track, and I have a really good, probably the truck setup in Michigan is the best I have for all 3 series. Nice and fast. The first setup anywhere I was able to just get out and run by myself and run away from the field. Which is always a good thing if you can manage it. It is rare. And so I took that and I threw it in here, and you know what? It was pretty good. But it was tight. Because even though we have 18 degrees of banking, all this that we just ran is fine. It's this part here that we come up. This part here is a tighter turn than Michigan, even though the banking is the same. So I had like a 49.1 wedge for the Michigan setup, so I think we're at 48 flat right now, and I've just been fine-tuning, and I'm trying to figure out where we're going to fine-tune. But I got the right front tire burning off down to just, as you can see, 3%. Oh, first caution. Yeah, we're at 48 even. So we're doing fine, but we're still, you see, we're still a little bit off. The Michigan setup had about a full pound more in the right rear, but we are close. We are close, and I lowered the right side tire pressures overall. What do we got? We got 55 left. Oh shit. Okay. So you know what we're gonna do? Yeah, we're gonna do that. We should be able to make it. Maybe. I don't know. We have 50 laps in the tank. 52 laps, 49. So 3 laps. We need 3 laps. We should be able to do 3 laps. Let's see how 4th gear does. It's a very high gear. It's not slowing me down. So basically, when you're really tight, you can run a track, with the setup really tight, a track like this. But a couple things is it tends to get weird off too when you have everything on the right front. And I know a lot of guys swear at, you know, burning the right front off. But here, it basically just sends you into the inside wall after a few laps if you're not ready for it. See, at a track like, I'm a lead foot. At a track like this, I tend to stay in the gas way too much. And even though I'm in fourth gear, I don't save that much. It's a good fourth gear, though. The other thing about this track is in, you know, in offline career mode racing, you can get away with it. But how you get off turn 4 is important. Turn 2, you want to be down on the white line, but you right about there, there's a tent all the way in the back, big tent, like this one up here on the right, like these. And I aim for that because you want to be up next to the wall. You don't want to cut it to the left because it has a tendency to spin out on you, no matter how tight you are. It's like one of the quirks of this track. I won't call it a glitch. I've never raced Chicagoland. I've never, you know, raced turn 2 off Chicagoland, but it's not a glitch. There is a glitch off turn 4, which I have not hit at all today, and I'm very happy about that. It's like right in the middle. And see, when you're racing online, this is kind of like how you want to race it, because the fast guys tend to have this really loose setup, and you can just get right off over there. It's not as fast, you know. You tend to lose speed if you know how to race. I'll explain a little bit. See here, like going up to the wall off turn 2 gives you a couple mile-an-hour more. Here, just letting it drift up. You don't have to go all the way to the wall. There's a more gentler way of hitting that turn, and it okay, we gained a lap. Just watching that. And it maintains a little bit more speed down the straightaway, you know. So it's like a compromise. But if you need to, if you know, it's like the last lap, you had a late restart, the green wide checker, everybody's going to be bunched up nose to tail. If your setup cannot follow like this here, like this, at least for a few laps, you're probably going to get freight trained when you get to turn 4 over there. See, 31.5. Being a little more aggressive because you'll be fine on gas if you don't have a caution. See, we're not pulling away as I float, which might be a concern later, but I think we're good enough that we can race for it. The change I made seems to be a good one. It didn't hurt it. If you notice, I'm not wearing the right front that much, but I'm also in fourth gear, so I'm entering the turns about the same speed, but I guess more gentle. Here we go. Yeah, so there's room. It's just figuring out what this track needs to go, you know, get like next level fast. Overall, I believe I gained about a 10th over my old setup. If that, you know, somewhere around there, it is a little better. I know I've gotten the drivability a ton better. I spent an hour on it. I don't like to spend more than an hour before a race. Gotta have limits, you know, figure like an hour of practice before a race or something, you know. And I already usually know what I'm working on. Right now, we'll call it homologating these things that I've learned into the setups for each of the tracks that we go back to, especially the ones that don't have it, and then fine-tuning the ones that do. This setup, I tried all that, and it didn't work. This is a hybrid setup. It's like half and half of you know, that brand new setup. So, you know, it also goes to show that, you know, Chicagoland requires a little bit little bit different kind of setup to be really fast. It's kind of funny, but I guess, you know, one of the issues I think we're struggling at so much is this is brought up a few times. I don't know, I've been coming across it on social media a lot, is guys, you know, talking about the old days, you know, like 15 years ago when the Cup cars had 1,000 horsepower in them. And they did. They were well over 900. They were hitting 900 on the non-restrictor plate tracks in the late 90s. So it stands to reason that by 2010 they were probably up to about 1,000. Definitely by 2015, you know, when they changed the rules a little bit, and you know they were going what 215 miles an hour into turn 1 at Michigan. Yeah, that's horsepower. Oh damn, they're catching me. Well, let's see what happens here. See, even though I'm hitting pretty much the same speeds, slowing down a mile an hour or two. But if you notice, whoa, there was a glitch. If you notice the, if you're watching the speedometer, it's basically the acceleration, how quickly it gets my speed up off the turns and through the turns. And this is a track, at least the way I have it set up right now. I tried to do, you know, like a Daytona, Talladega thing, but this practice won't have it. At least not yet. And straddling that glitch is the best way to deal with it, by the way. You know, just trying to get the right overall balance. See, here we're still 2% tight. I think I basically just have to, I adjusted the right side camber down. I think I gotta adjust it down just a little bit more. Even though it kind of says, see, like I'm just reading the tires, you look at the temps, it kind of says that if I increase the camber, I mean in real life, then it'll help that situation. But at Chicagoland, on heat 4 and 5, it don't work that way. It makes it worse. One of them reverse things. Who knows? You know, there's a few quirks with Chicagoland. That's the second place guy, I believe. And dealing with it is something we all got to do, but it can be very frustrating. Especially when you don't know any of this and you're trying to build setups. So, you know, you go to one track and everything works, and then you go to the, you know, next track and then like nothing works. Everything is like opposite. Well, the Chicagoland, it tends to act like that, as you can see. I mean, I have a 48 flat wedge that I'm not spinning out loose, and I'm burning up the right front. So, you know, go figure. Thank you, traffic. Well, we gained another lap. But I know, you know, this game, third stage blues, so before I throw it back into third, I have to gain another 2 laps. I have to be 2 laps to be good. Now that's just in case somebody else doesn't pit. And if you notice, I'm on the gas a lot. That change end aid seems to have not really helped, you know, adding the tire pressure. I could probably add more. But it's drivable. You know, I might eke out a little bit more speed. Got to get that, especially in high gear, you got to get the RPMs up to get the speed. So like, the leader got held up, but we're getting held up now too. See how slow they are at this point? See, it handles real good now. It's just the wear. I know, you know, losing a little bit more grip than I should or need to be out of the right front. So fixing that, you know, will help me incrementally each lap. And you know, hopefully it might even add up to a half or a full tenth gained at the end of a run. You know, when you're on old tires. Stuff like that. I think like that. All the little things can add up to a big thing. And also remember, I took the tape down so that we get the maximum fuel savings. Why does that help? Well, the way they set the game up is the cooler the fuel is, the cooler the engine is, represented in oil temperature. The cooler the fuel is, the better it burns, the better it combusts. The better it combusts, the less fuel you need. And again, we're talking incrementally, tiny, tiny amount each lap, but that adds up. When you're going for qualifying, that can make a difference. When you're going for, you know, race, yeah, it can make a difference. Both, you know, positive and negative, depending on how you use it. I'm running 2/10 slower than I've run all day. I'd like to stay in third gear, but the caution came out and gave us this opportunity. So I haven't been doing a lot of gas saving lately, so let's see. And you know, as you see, we're not that slow. We might get passed again here. Oops. Especially if I let it drift up too much towards the wall. So if everybody pits, we're sitting in the catbird seat. If somebody doesn't pit in front of us, well, then we got to catch them. That's why I'm making this move. Keep that in mind. Stay low here. Pretty wide. It's a good thing we're in fourth here. Oh, we lost the other guy. Okay, see now when the tires start wearing, you don't get through the turns as much. You also don't turn as well. It gets tighter because you're in a higher gear. The rear end isn't torquing and pushing itself around, you know. Which way does an engine spin? Spins to the left. I think maybe that has something to do with ovals going around to the left here. Go out to your hot rod and rev it up with the hood up, and you'll see it torque, twist to the left. .8 seconds. It's generally acting tight now, because we are running tight and we don't have that third gear to push us, help push the rear end around. See, it's not kind of like angling like it was before. There's a glitch. 19 laps. Okay. So see, this is what I was saying. So we can make it from here. Well, another half lap. Yeah, see, I'm also feathering it, so I'm not getting any oomph from the back end to twist it around to the left, to rotate it. If you notice, we got a little tighter, even though I added a half pound to the right rear. Yeah, it's starting to act weird off too. When you get it too tight, it does that off too for whatever reason. And it's not just Chicagoland, but Chicagoland's more pronounced. It'll just turn you left. You'll end up hitting that inside wall over there. Wow, I lost a second to the leader. I guess we got by those guys. I'm looking now. Let's see what the interval is. Okay, we're running 32.3. Okay, we lost the 10. We lost the second place guy's draft. He's not really helping us. That's 2 tenths, 3 tenths. Gained a tenth back, 3 tenths. So basically, he's running where we should be running. That's going to make it harder to catch him. Everybody pit. But the other reason why I'm doing this is setup-wise, you know, maybe I need to go with a higher gear, you know, kind of thing. Loosen it up more. Because I'm gonna have to I have to do something to get that right front rear under control and keep the maneuverability and such. So the more you loosen it up, you know, a higher gear will tighten it, but it also can slow you down too much. I was actually thinking about going up in the race. I was thinking about going up another notch on the rear end, just because there was extra room. It was barely hitting 8,000, and you know, by myself I should be hitting at least 8250. The 8750 red line, and the truck likes gear, so Probably left a little bit on the table there, but again, testing. And, you know, offline, you know, out of the race, it didn't seem, it seemed I had enough gear. But in the race, there's always a little bit different. Okay, well, the next 10 laps should show who's fitting. If you haven't figured it out, if the leader doesn't hit, I'm screwed, because I can probably catch Crafton. He's running slower than the leader. Oh, back down to 2.8. Good. Hold him up. You held me up enough in New Hampshire. Hold him up today. Wow. Caught it. Hit the curb. See, the front end digging in makes the steering a little bit more sensitive, which is why you tend to get a little bit loose off turns with the weight shifting the way it is and such. So I'm very easy on the steering wheel off the turns. And if you notice, my wheel lock's typically way down, except at Daytona and Talladega when that's not an issue. Just have enough gas to make it and stay in fourth. This is what I mean. I should probably be a lap ahead by now, but game stage 3 fuel blues. I have to make it through here. Wow! I yanked the wheel and see. Game said no. See, it's acting a little bit loose. Good. Tires are way down. So I didn't go on the curb there. As I'm looking, you know, we actually got to make it. If I have to pit, that's going to suck. That's the other reason why you don't want to have one right side tire in particular. Any tire wearing significantly more than it should be. So I'm at the point where I can do this. We're at 14. The leader pits. I'm going to throw it back and forth. Should make it. See, the way you drive has a lot to do with your tire wear. I haven't lost the percentage. This will be coming to the end of the second lap. That's big for me. I lost a little on the right, which is fine because we have a little extra to burn. sliding. Oh, see that wiggle? 2%. 3 laps to go. Oh, we don't need this. Nobody's pitting. Ah, we're screwed. So our great gas mileage was basically just less than it should have been. Oh well, unless we get lucky and everybody starts pitting now. Nope, we're still going. Nobody's on pit road. Wow, so we need to work on our pit strategy a little bit. We were 3 laps short, but everybody can go the distance. So we're behind the 8 ball on gas mileage. Wow, which makes a higher gear a little bit more attractive. Oh, this sucks. We had this baby. Second. Oh wow! Killed by a badly timed caution. Wow. So we were on the right strategy because everybody else is on the same one. Damn. That really sucked. Led that whole race up until you saw me get past there. And then, no, not much else we can do. We couldn't pit, right? Yeah, pitting would have killed third place, but wow. See, this is the thing about Chicagoland. That shouldn't have happened. Or what I mean is, it shouldn't have went down that way, but it did. You know, there's just so many quirks about this place that are weird compared to the other tracks. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love fast tracks like this, 1.5 2 mile tracks. They're our favorite. But you know, man, thought we had them covered. But here we go, losing it right there. But we made it to the end. We still got a top 3 out of it. But I believe we won every race this season. This is the first one we didn't win in the truck. Not that I was going for it. I don't look at it that way. I just noticed the other day. I was like, oh, we got 11 wins. And I'm like, oh, that was race 11 when I posted the video. And I'm like, we won every race this season. I've never done that before. Not so many anyway, but still, you know, got another another dozen races to go on the trucks or so, and can't complain. Doing really, really, really good. And you know, we're gonna come upon that. You know, some of the tracks just don't. You know, the AI is faster than us. In the past, I have adjusted to get it, whatever, but I'm not doing that anymore. If they're faster, it's going to force us to get faster, because that's the only way you're going to get faster. You know, some people push themselves. I push myself too. I do that, but I'd rather push myself in a way that it kind of like there's a carrot, you know. So I can be like, not win all the races. That's stuff like that never enters my mind as a realistic thing. But you know, to win at a track that I haven't won before. You know, not just gas winning, but racing. You know, and I've done that here before. So now I'm exploring how to get faster. And you know, I really thought they'd have to pit. Typically you usually get to run about 2 laps more than than the AI guys, but not Chicagoland. Denied. That's okay. We got faster. We got definitely easier to drive. There's more speed. It's bound up. It's like, what it feels like, it's like the rear end is planted more than the front end in the race. You know, after the first few laps feels beautiful. That's why we can pull out a lead. But our race is dependent on pulling out a lead and then running hard all the way to the end. At the end, being 3 laps short on gas, couldn't do that. We had to save, so that right there, oh look, perfect truck, 80, 80, 80. So, we got the bonus. Okay, oh, this is going to be a tough one, because we have one road course car, and we have back-to-back road courses. Usually, you know, like here I brought a car back at 80, so you got 12, you can fix 12 on a car, so it needs 2 weeks, right? 80 plus 12 gets you to 92. 92 and 12 is, you're over 100, so you're good. But when you use the car that week, and say we bring it back perfect, which we won't, say we bring it back perfect at 80, it means the race the next week, we can only get it back up to 92% maximum, you know, at best. And that's you know, that's an issue. I don't agree with that, but you know, what are you gonna do? You gotta do what you can do. With what you have. So let's see. We're gonna finish good at Watkins. We have a good setup against the AI. Iowa, we should do real well at Iowa. Bristol, we should blow them away. And then we got Road America. Okay, so we got 3 road courses. I'm gonna go with 3 top 10s, because those road courses are. We're not gonna have, you know, Road America. We should be able to fix the car up if we don't get into serious trouble. But yeah. So we should. Be okay. Sorry, a little distracted. I'm hungry. I'm a little tired. Kind of down day today. Okay, so next up would be Xfinity Iowa, and we'll also, if you see, we got $1 million more than we need to buy a car, so we'll do a setup video for that. But thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, ask me questions, anything, and we'll see you next time.